Very good evening to everyone. We are now online for an interaction session for the course on Introduction to Aircraft Design. So the floor is open for any questions or any queries that you may have. Kabit Zaman, very good evening. Very good evening to everyone. We are now online for so after so many good evenings, I think we should now start the questions. I'm just waiting for any questions to come up. There was one question, and that is by Anirudh Saxena. I don't know whether he is there right now in the meeting. So Anirudh Saxena, are you there in the meeting? If you are there, just type a message. Okay, Naveen is the question. When text transcript available for all lecture? I don't know. That is being done by the teaching assistant, and they are coordinating with the NPTEL team. Orange Tech, what are the assumptions made in the design of RC plane? Assumptions. There are no assumptions made. You design an RC plane like a normal plane. Only thing is you have to use the appropriate. You have to use the appropriate values for the various parameters, like you use in any design exercise. So there is nothing special or some assumptions for the RC plane. Kabit Zaman, sir, how do we estimate the thrust to weight ratio? Which phase of flight should be considered for this? Actually, if you are doing a course on aircraft design, and if you're asking me this question, I get a bit worried because there is a dedicated chapter I have covered on what is called as constraint analysis. I don't know whether you have done that, because if you do that, you will not ask me this question, Kabit. In that particular chapter on constraint analysis, I have explained exactly how you get these parameters, or what parameters we consider. So I would rather not answer the question here. I would rather request you to look at the tutorial and the lecture both on constraint analysis, and you will get your answer. Okay, apart from any good evenings, are there any other messages or any questions? Because all I'm getting are good evenings. And as I mentioned, there is a student called Anirudh Saxena who has asked a question in the discussion forum. If he's there online, I would ask him to indicate and ask his question by putting it in the chat window. So the question regarding the transcripts by Naveen has already been answered by the teaching assistant, Namanuddin. How will be the pattern of the final examination? The final examination will have three types of questions. All of them will be multiple choice. One of them will be very basic questions, which will look at remembering. Okay. Basic questions which will try to, this is based on the recall of the material that you have supposed to have seen. The second type of questions are where you have to apply the principle that you have learned, and the third type are a little bit more advanced, where not only you apply the principle but you also take it further and extend it further. Okay. Bipin Kumar, do we need to remember those large equations for examination purposes? No, No, I don't think you need to remember all the large equations, because we are not here to check how good you are in memory. We are here in checking how much are you able to apply. Okay. How do we know, Orange Tech, how do we know the perfect position for placement of wing on the fuselage? That's a good question. You don't know it in advance. You assume it to be approximately 40% of the fuselage length or 50% of the fuselage length. And then when you do the calculations, you come up with the stability analysis, and then only you come to know whether the wing has to be moved slightly forward or slightly backward. In a general design exercise where there are no constraints, this is what you do. But there could be some constraints when you do the specific work. Which CAD software is mostly used for aircraft design in the detailed design? So Shanu, most common one is CATIA. CATIA is the most common software by Unigraphics. CATIA is the most common software which is used for detailed design, as far as I know. Sir, constraint analysis is clear to me, but my confusion has to do with power consumed during climb phase versus cruise phase. Power consumed during climb phase versus cruise phase. So, what is the confusion? Power consumed during climb phase is to be calculated by looking at the climb velocity, and the power consumed during cruise phase is to be calculated based on the cruise altitude and the cruise velocity. So, I mean, you have to calculate the thrust to weight ratio for various segments and then choose the one which is the highest. And generally, it will be more in climb than in cruise. I can tell you that. The more critical one will be always the climb compared to cruise. And you have to also include the climb gradient, the required climb gradient. Okay. Yeah, friends, waiting for your queries and questions. If you don't have any questions, then you can actually start giving me your feedback about the course, your comments on the tutorials, your comments on the course content, suggestions for what should be the new material that we should include in the course next time, any suggestions regarding changing something. Is it possible that the cruise phase can consume more power than the climb phase? It is possible if the cruise requirements are very, very harsh. For example, if you design something like SR-71 Blackbird, which cruises at hypersonic speeds, probably the cruise consumption will be more than the climb consumption. Which analysis software is better to do simulations in our model? This is a question from Orange Tech. I don't know what you mean by in your model. What exactly do you mean? What exactly are you doing? Simulations in our model is not very clear. If you clarify to me what you are doing, then I can maybe suggest to you. Vasavyanath Kalwala, sir, can you explain about the course? What? What do I explain to you about the course? Will you explain about the course? I'm not able to understand what do you want me to do? I have recorded a small 5-minute course introduction video which I did which has been already uploaded, and it is there as part of the course. That's all I have. Okay, so engines. Yes, what you say is right. The engines are turbofan engines on 21225. Yeah, so if it is mentioned as turbojet, then it is wrong. The correct answer is turbofan. Will you explain about the course about aircraft design? Oh, I think you have to watch the course introductory video, and those will be able to explain to you. I think you should look at the course introductory video. That will explain to you. So it's available. It's available. I mean, I can share with you the link if you want, but it's available on the YouTube channel of this course. The first video will be the course introductory video that will explain about the course. Okay, looks like there are no more questions. So that's all. See, I have nothing to add to whatever I have covered in the course. This is the session for you to ask your questions and to interact with me. Vasant Anand, the question that you have asked is answered in another course called as Introduction to Flight. They don't reach at the same time. Doubt regarding the lift on a wing. Do the flow above the wing and below the wing reach at the same time, causing difference in velocity, or is the flow separate? No, I think you should look at the videos of that particular course. Orange Tech, how can we choose a perfect motor for RC aircraft? Very difficult question to answer generally. You have to match the power requirement of your aircraft with the power available from the propeller and motor combination. And then there are considerations like weight, cost, availability, reliability. That's based on that you can choose the appropriate motor. Sir, after the completion of this course, what is the next most apt course to be undergone to become an aircraft designer? Well, Yashas Sudarshan, it's very difficult for you to become an aircraft designer just by doing one or two courses. To become a to become an aircraft designer, you actually have to really work in the aerospace industry and do some practical work. Chaitanya Deshmukh is concerned about the examination. Do we have single choice question or multiple choice question in the exam or both? If I remember correctly, we have only a single choice answer. Only one choice is correct in the final examination. So the life is easy for you. KGBT, sir, isn't the acceptable noise due to aircraft 80 APN dB according to regulations? In the last quiz, it was marked as 90 APN dB. Yes, you are right. My memory, as per my memory, it is 80 EPN dB. So if it has been shown as 90 EPN dB, then I think we have to have a look at it again. But I don't know. We will revert back to you after looking at the latest regulations. My understanding is 80 EPN dB also. But it depends. There are three different noise measurements that are undergone. There is a sideline noise, there is a takeoff noise, and there is another, I forgot the exact name. So you have to look at which regulation is being talked about. Turbo ramjet engine is practically possible. Yes, there are aircraft flying with turbo ramjet. There are missiles and rockets flying with turbo ramjets. So yeah, turbo ramjet is possible. I don't know what you mean by turbo ramjet. Do you mean to say combination of turbojet and ramjet? Then I don't know. But ramjet is possible. Naveen says, can we get a model question paper? No, I don't know. This is to be answered by the NPTEL people whether they are giving model question papers. I don't have anything ready to give you. Can you, Shashank has a question. Can you explain the difference between fences and strakes on a wing? See, fences are also called as boundary layer fences. Their basic purpose is on the wing to resist the span-wise flow tendency and channelize the airflow over the wing so that it doesn't go too much towards the span-wise direction. Strakes are located ahead of the wing and they basically create a vortex which tries to maintain attached flow on a wing even at high angle of attacks. So one of them is for high angle of attack, one of them is for general tendency of span-wise flow in a delta wing or a swept wing. Uh, how can you find the CG of the aircraft? Okay, CG of the aircraft is located actually by differential weighing, by weighing of the aircraft. What you do is there is a there are actually there is a YouTube video which explains this. I would suggest you have a look at it. What they do is they put some weighing machines below the nose landing gear or the auxiliary landing gear and the main landing gear, and by making the readings, they try to figure out the location of center of gravity. How are the cruise missiles designed compared to aircraft design? Uh, Cruise missiles are essentially um, for high speed flight over long distances. So there we don't have any passengers or any cargo. We have, of course, uh, the what is it, the explosive. Okay, so they are essentially, see, missiles are basically they are different from aircraft because they are not normally they don't require to create so much lift as the aircraft is supposed to create. How does multi-criteria design decision making fit in the area of aircraft design? Kabit Zaman, okay, welcome back. You are also here on this course. Multi-criteria decision making is very important in aircraft design because there are multiple criteria which can be used to decide the goodness of an aircraft. So, if you can figure out how to identify a solution or a design which is best from multiple criteria, then it's very useful in aircraft design. One of the first places where multi-criteria decision making was applied would probably be in the area of aircraft design. Okay. As I said, this is an interaction session. Of course, I am only speaking and you are listening. But right. Okay, let me see if there are any more questions. Otherwise, we'll have to say goodbye, because if there are no more questions, then I don't have anything to answer. So you are welcome to ask your questions, and your interaction session will be based on the questions that you ask. Okay, so please go ahead with your questions so that we can quickly wrap up our interaction session. You can also use this opportunity to to comment on the course. In case there are no questions, you can at least give me some feedback about the course. You can suggest some changes, improvements, modifications, additional topics. Maybe you are able to suggest some different way of doing things, because we have done it with a particular thought. So this is an opportunity for you to give your feedback. Yashas Sudarshan, a degree in aeronautical engineering is sufficient to apply for ATC. If not, what other degree is required to apply? Actually, for ATC, mostly they are looking for electrical engineers. Okay. Mostly they're looking for electrical engineers. They are not looking for aeronautical engineers, because air traffic control, an air traffic controller doesn't need to have detailed aeronautical engineering knowledge, because it's a procedural field. So there they are more interested in you having a familiarity with the electronic equipment and how to handle them. So actually, aeronautical engineering also, I think, is applicable nowadays. I'm not very sure. There was a question raised by somebody before also. But most of the ATCs are electrical or electronic engineers, or there are, earlier they used to take people with even MSc physics and all that. Naveen wants to know whether it is possible to apply for research intern under guidance. The answer is yes, because there are several interns working with me. Okay, so therefore the answer is yes. Now, uh, with the current pandemic situation, I am already saturated by existing interns. So right now, I am not proactively looking for new interns. I'm already full. I have around 15 interns working with me. Uh, but sometime in the future, maybe in the summer next year, there may be some opportunity. So you can approach me at that time. But right now, I'm not looking proactively for interns. Chaitanya Deshmukh wants to know what developments is being done in stealth technology in 2020. Well, I don't know. This is a very, very specific question. See, I'm not an expert in stealth technology. So there is a colleague of mine called Professor S.P. Maholikar. S.P. Maholikar. He is an expert in stealth technology in our department. And also we have Professor Avijit Chatterjee, who does a lot of mathematical modeling of the signature, or radar signature. So you can consult these experts to get specific information. Vasant Anand, what is the criteria or the qualifications we need to do projects or intern with IIT professors? What are the fields that we need to master before such? So Vasant Anand, there is no firm answer for this question, because every faculty member who takes interns has their own criteria, their own procedure, their own scheme of taking interns. There are some professors who don't take any intern. There are some professors who are very active. They write on their website also that we are looking for interns. So it varies from person to person. It is purely at the uh, dependent on the specific faculty member. So different people have different procedures. Okay, some of them, they will follow a criteria. They will like to ensure that you have. For example, if you ask me, normally I like students who have done my courses, or they have got a good score in the courses which I teach. So, for example, if you are a very high scorer in my course, then I might be inclined to take you as an intern. Uh, the teaching assistant Namanuddin, who is helping me with this particular course, he took the course on Introduction to Flight last year. He got the highest score in India. He was the topper of this course last year. And therefore, we under NPTEL, we gave him an internship. So he came and he worked in IIT Bombay for an internship project. Okay, so this internship varies from professor to professor. There is no firm or a fixed answer to this question. And what are the fields we need to master? Again, that depends on the concerned faculty member. What are they looking for in the intern, and what kind of work they expect to assign, what skill sets they need. They only will tell you. And many of them, they actually mention on their websites, if they are actively looking for students or interns, they clearly mention that these are the areas in which I'm looking for people. So your best bet is only to approach those faculty members under whom you want to work, and be patient. Send them an email and then give them sufficient time to respond, maybe around 15 days or so. If not, you can send a polite reminder, but make your emails very small and very crisp. Don't attach your papers or CV or so many things right in the first email. First, check whether they are taking any intern. If they respond, then you can send the details that they ask for. Kabir Zaman says, sir, can the IIT Kanpur Aerospace NPTEL courses be considered for any research opportunities? Yes. See, the research courses of IIT Kanpur will be more useful to work for internship under the professor in IIT Kanpur. But yes, if you approach me and you say that you have done my course and also IIT Kanpur Aerospace NPTEL courses, it will be an added advantage. But just because you have done some 3 courses in IIT Kanpur Aerospace NPTEL, I will not be able to take you directly for internship under me, because I work on a different problem. Every faculty member, even within IIT Kanpur, they work on different problems, different areas. So they look at different qualities in their students. But yes, if you have done courses from IIT Kanpur on aerospace NPTEL, it's an added advantage, definitely. It shows that you are really interested and really motivated compared to other students. But probably a professor who wants to give you internship would like to ensure that at least you have taken his or her courses and scored very well in them, because every faculty member normally works in specific research areas. Okay. Are there any more questions? I have not got a single comment about the course so far. I have not got any feedback about the course. I would be very keen to know from you guys who have taken this course, how do you feel about the course? Let me know. Give me any suggestions. Give me some constructive points so that we can do this course next year in a better fashion. So shall we assume that there are no more questions and no more comments? Okay, Bipin Kumar has a comment or a question. There are many new concepts of transportation coming in near future, like Hyperloop, which seems better and efficient. What effect is it going to create in aviation? Oh, it will transform. If Hyperloop becomes a reality, and if common man can take Hyperloop for travel, it will substantially affect the way in which transportation happens. The other area which is going to really transform is the electrical air taxis, which are also being studied. And now some new electrical aircraft have just, in Japan, for example, one company has recently tested one air taxi. And so we are getting nearer and nearer we are getting nearer and nearer to the reality of being able to use air taxis. So definitely, these are transformative technologies. Uh, Sandesh wants to know what material to refer for exams. Sandesh, I would suggest that you refer standard textbooks and also the course videos, and carefully go through the assignments. And so many assignments, there have been changes in the answers. So go carefully and look at all the corrected answers. Chaitanya Deshmukh wants to know, do you have courses on space application like spacecraft design or space transportation? No, I don't work in these areas, so I don't have any course in space application or space transit. But I am going to offer a course on what is called as lighter than air systems, LTA systems. So this course is going to be launched in the next, I think in January it will be launched. We are right now just finalizing the contents. So this is a good follow-up for the course on aircraft design, because it will talk about a very specific system which is currently not taught in the colleges. It's a new, it's an old system, even older than aircraft, but it became dormant, and we will talk about why it became dormant, and then we'll also talk about how it was revived, and also talk about the current development. So that's a course which will be very useful for students who are interested in design. So please note, the course will be called as Introduction to Lighter Than Air Systems, or LTA systems, and it is planned to be offered from the January session of NPTEL. Vishu also has a question. In the final NPTEL exam, will there be a combination of MCQs and MSQs as it is in the weekly assignments, or just either of one? No, I think we have only multiple choice questions. We have only MCQs in the final examination. Sir, any textbook for design of H-tail or V-tail? See, these designs are not taught in textbooks. These designs are done by the designers. So you will get some information about H-tail, V-tail, but not any design. Yashash Sudarshan says, this course was worth every minute and more for the time I had spent studying the course. Thank you for teaching me these skills. Okay, thank you, Yashash Sudarshan, for this comment. Chaitanya Deshmukh, I am in third year of mechanical engineering, and for me the course was a little tough, but I learned many new technical terms and got useful knowledge. Thank you so much for the course. Thank you, Chaitanya. Any course on cyber related to cyber security in aircraft? Any course on IoT, cloud integration? No, I don't know this. I really don't know about courses on IoT, courses on Industry 4 in the aviation industry. No, I am doubtful whether somebody will offer a course, such a specific course. May not be possible, because the content will be very. But I don't know. There might be someone who would be happy to offer. So yes, I don't know, but there could be. You can better look at the NPTEL. When they announce the new course, you should be able to see the list of courses that they are giving. Okay. Any other point you would like to highlight? See, I am looking for constructive suggestions. I mean, you are saying the course is nice, we enjoyed. That is okay. I'm grateful to you for those comments. But more useful for me will be, sir, make this change, sir, do this, bring this in, remove that, add this, change that. That would be more constructive and more useful for me, rather than simply appreciating my work. Right. Naveen has a question. Course is very good, but one thing while answering the multiple choice questions was, if we choose one option wrong, then marks we get 0, even though we gave some correct answers. So Naveen, this is very much intentional. See, when there is a multiple choice question, there is always a chance that you can resort to guessing the answers. But if you are really confident, and if you really study properly and know and have the knowledge, then only you will be able to actually confidently choose all the multiple options which are correct. Okay. And interestingly, when you answer the assignment, you are not answering it on the spot. So you can see the question, then you can go back and check the material. You can again get the reconfirmation. So we have intentionally kept multiple answers correct in our questions in the assignment, because I want people to be knowledgeable and confident about all the correct answers. And that is one of the only ways available for us to ensure that the questions are not answered by fluke or by some kind of guessing game. So we want to remove the guessing game. Therefore, we have decided that if there are three answers correct, and if you answer only two of them, we will not give you the mark. If there are two answers correct, but you mark three, we'll give you zero. Okay. So this is intentional, Naveen, and you have to bear with it. You have to learn to be absolutely confident and sure of the answer. If not, go back to the material, refer, and come back again. Kritin says the concept of natural laminar flow fascinated me. I request you to kindly suggest literature or textbook for me to move forward. Well, there are publications available, there are papers available on NLF, and you know, so you have to do your own search. I mean, offhand, I cannot suggest to you any book. Natural laminar flow is a concept in fluid dynamics, and I don't know of any book dedicated to this. But several textbooks give an explanation of natural laminar flow, and there are several publications, including those from India, because NLF aerofoil was designed for our Saras aircraft also. XYZ ABC. Sir, is it useful for civil engineering? The answer is no. If you have interest in aircraft and you want to know how they are designed, then you can definitely attend this course. But if you want knowledge from this course to be used for a civil engineering examination, I don't think. So anything else anybody would like to share or discuss? I am still looking for constructive feedback. I am looking for suggestions. I'm looking for comments. I'm looking for criticism, suggestions where you want me to make changes. Yasha Sudarshan, the course was precise, but I felt that a bit more information on OpenVSP software could be better. See, OpenVSP is an open source software. We have given you a full tutorial on OpenVSP. After that, I think you should yourself go online and search for OpenVSP, and we cannot do spoon feeding. So we have given you a full tutorial on OpenVSP. After that, we expect you to go online, download the software, and play with it. I don't think anything more could have been done. And there are so many videos available in OpenVSP website on how to use the software. You should do it yourself. Vishu Oza, is it possible to add a content regarding design a specific module of vehicle, even if introductory part from start to end, design of wing, engine, etc.? So, okay, so what you are saying is that you would like us to can you specify, Vishu Oza, more in more detail? What exactly is you want? Do you want design? See, this course is about aircraft conceptual design. So in conceptual design, I don't want to go into the detailed design of any one particular component or any one particular system. But still, can you elaborate? Okay. Any practical examples can be introduced, like introduction of new technology in aircraft design, like Boeing 787 or so. So I think the whole course has run with Boeing 787 as a background, and that is one of the most recent and modern aircraft. So I mean, what more do you need? You already have data information regarding Boeing 787, and that has been used in this particular course. The whole exercises, the complete tutorials are based on Boeing 787. Uh, and new technology information is not very easy. New technology information, the manufacturers or the companies like Airbus and Boeing, they don't share with us. This is a confidential information because it gives them lead in the market. So we don't have access to new technology information about the specific aircraft. So nice. More suggestions on more comments are mentioned. Replacement of fly-by-wire with wireless. Okay. I myself don't know all these things. I myself am not at all very much familiar with how to replace fly-by-wire with fly-by-light or wireless system. And I don't know whether any wireless control system has been designed by anybody for an aircraft. So I don't know. So what I don't know, I cannot teach here because I have to learn that first myself. So I cannot claim to teach something that I don't know myself. Okay. Um, Bipin Kumar, sir, there is a large difference between pictures of aeroplanes and real planes. No, how can it be? A picture of an aeroplane is a reality. How can it be different from real airplane? If you go to the physical aeroplanes and explain some concepts, physics and engineering, and show it to us if possible, it would be better. I don't know what you mean by going to the physical aeroplane and explain. I mean, I cannot, in a studio, I can't bring a Boeing 747 and go there and say that this is a component. Vishu Oza, is it regarding conceptual design steps of a component, then simulating it and then studying? No. Conceptual design normally happens only for a system. Conceptual design for components comes under uh, uh, okay, uh, comes under detailed design actually. Kritin, sir, what did you mean by pre-aircraft concept regarding the upcoming LTA systems course? What I meant is that the conventional aircraft that you are aware of, the aircraft with wing, fuselage, tail, uh, that particular aircraft actually has come after the LTA systems. Uh, though the first aircraft to fly was not the fixed wing aircraft of Wright brothers. Much before that, there were other aircraft, and those were a member of the LTA systems. Okay, so would the LTA systems course be a follow-up of this course? Actually, it's not a follow-up, but it's a logical extension because there we talk about one specific type of aircraft, which is lighter than air system. So very soon I will be releasing a video describing what I plan to do in that course. You can watch the video and then take a decision on whether, but it will be nice because if people with a good background on aircraft design take the course on LTS systems, it will be easy for me to teach that course and you will understand it better and you will also be able to you'll also be able to understand it easily. Also, those of you who want to come for internship with me, LTS systems is my specialization. So if you want to work as an intern with me on some latest problems, or if you want to do your BTech project or any other research project with me, then if you do an LTA systems course, it will be easy for you to start working on my research problems. So that's why I'm recommending. If you are keen to do internship with me, I would strongly recommend that you do the LTA course and score well in that course, because then it will be easy for me to take you as an intern. Because that's the research area in which I'm working nowadays. And I would also like to add one thing, that you will get courses on aircraft design at many places. Within India itself, you'll get one course. In NPTEL itself, there is one course on aircraft design from IIT Madras, taught by my senior professor, Professor Tullah Purkara, who I was a student in IIT Madras when he was a teacher. Then there is a course offered by my very good friend and Professor A.K. Ghosh from IIT Kanpur. But you will not find any course on LTS systems anywhere in the world. We are the first people in India to start a dedicated course on LTS systems. It was started in 2015, 5 years ago. So this is a very unique course. I mean, you will not find any course in the world on LTS systems except the one that we have done. So it's a unique thing, and I think you should be a part of a unique system. Sir, are airships considered LTS systems? Yes, airships are the main LTS systems. There seem to be revived interest in such systems for cargo transport. Exactly, Kabit Zaman. So that is what is covered in airship. LTS systems, essentially, there are three of them. There is airships, there is aerostat, and then there are balloons. So yes, you will be able to study about airships, aerostats, and balloons in the course on LTS systems. Sandesh says, do you take students for PhD who have a background of engineering BE plus law plus experience? Unfortunately, students with a BE degree are eligible for PhD. Okay, so this 15 years of experience in the industry is a terrific bonus. So yes, we do take. Recently, I have taken a student for a PhD. He is a dual degree, BTech and MTech from IIT Kanpur in aerospace engineering. And then he has worked in National Aerospace Laboratories for about 10 years. And then he has come for a PhD. So yes, I do take people from industry, because I myself came to academics after spending 5 years in the industry. Vasant Anand, sir, is LTS still feasible as an air transport system considering failures like Hindenburg? If you talk about failure like Hindenburg, I can talk about so many failures like aircraft. Okay, so many aircraft have failed. Does it mean that air transportation is still feasible? Okay, just because one airship in 1929 or some 37 failed, does it mean that the whole industry, whole system is a failure? If you look at the history, so please join the course, and then you will learn about how airships have a very special application which is far better than aircraft. So please join the course to answer this question at least. For any aviation law subjects, can we do PhD under you? No, not under me. I don't work on aviation law, and it is difficult, I think, to do PhD on a topic on aviation law. But you can send a mail to me, and maybe if I can see some interesting research area, I can suggest to you who can help you. I can definitely put you in touch with the right people. But I myself may not be suitable to take a PhD in aviation law. Chaitanya Deshmukh, next time please make a special session on journey of aircraft development and the industries, how they evolved in chronological way. Like, what are the challenges we faced in initial phase? This is a good point. This is a very good point. Okay, so this we will try to keep in mind, and I'm requesting the TAs to make a note of this, so that we can, try and incorporate that. At least we can have an interaction session on that, where the journey of aircraft development and the industries, how they evolved, can be discussed. It's a very good suggestion. Thank you so much, Chaitanya, for this constructive suggestion. Like this, I'm looking for more comments and more suggestions from students who have taken this course, because based on your suggestions and comments only we can create new content. Otherwise, we will not get these new ideas. So please keep coming back to us with your constructive suggestions, so that we can. I'm not saying that whatever you suggest definitely I will incorporate, but I will try my best, and if I'm able to do it, it will enrich the next course. Go ahead. Is there any other point? We have only about 7 minutes remaining before we wind up. I have committed to give 1 hour for this interaction session, and it's already 8 minutes past 6 o'clock. So 7 minutes more, guys, for you to ask your questions, give your suggestions, comment on the course. If you did not like something, mention why you did not like it. Maybe we are doing something unknowingly which we should correct next time. Maybe we should augment our course with material that you would like to suggest to us. So the floor is open, and all comments are welcome. Good comments as well as bad comments. Rishikesh, Ramesh, which are the most interesting subdomains in aerospace design where there is prolific volume of near future research in your perspective, sir? So the most exciting topic for aircraft design or aerospace domain in the near future, according to me, is sustainable aviation. Aviation which does not harm the environment. Aviation in which we create less emissions, less noise, less trouble to our earth. So, globally sustainable aviation, using electrical propulsion for aviation, using non fossil fuels like hydrogen or solar power for aircraft. Can we think of designing a complete aircraft that runs on hydrogen fuel cells and solar power? These are the challenges, according to me, at least in the civil aviation domain, which is where I mostly work. Then there is a huge amount of research happening in combination of airships and aircraft, bringing in new drones or new unmanned aerial vehicles which can do very challenging and very, very exciting things, making them automatically self separate, making them fly in swarms to help do a task more efficiently. These are some of the areas where there is a fantastic scope for doing research in the future. And I would welcome interns to work with me in these areas. These are the areas which excite me about the future of aircraft design, especially electrical propulsion, non-fossil fuel propulsion, sustainable aviation, lighter than air systems, novel systems where you take advantage of. I also like to work on seaplanes or amphibian planes, which are coming in a very big way now. So that is another area where I'll be interested to work on. Some prospective MTech or PhD students, I would like to take on design of amphibian aircraft, design on seaplanes. We have a very beautiful lake next to our campus. We would like to try out some of these techniques if possible. I don't know, it's a very long shot because there are also crocodiles in that lake. So it may be dangerous for us to do research in a lake which has crocodiles. So therefore, I don't want to say, but maybe we will set up a small facility in the laboratory. Maybe we can make a setup where we try out these things. Soham Das says, great to see you, sir. We met at IIT Bombay in January. I hope you're doing well. How do we research now since colleges have been shut down and labs have been off access? We work online, Soham. Online, we are working, as I mentioned to you, so many students are working with me on online research. So yes, when the whole life has moved online, we are interacting online, then why not also do research online? Very much possible. Of course, there are limitations. Of course, you cannot fabricate something online. But yes, if we want to do some 3D printing in our lab, the printer is still working, and we have project engineers who are going to the labs, so we can take help from them to fabricate small items, small parts. So yes, research can still go on. We may have to redirect our efforts into areas where physical interaction and practical work in the lab may not be needed because it is not possible right now. Okay. Rishikesh Ramesh has thanked me for the perspectives and reach out back with prospects. Okay, good. Uh, yeah, so we have 3 minutes remaining now. Last shot for your comments, for your suggestions, for your views. 3 minutes more. Kabit Zaman, is it possible to avail an online internship at present under your guidance? See, I mentioned to you, Kabit, that there are already many interns with me. But if you are able to align your interest with some of my current technical commitments, then might be possible. I don't want to rule out the possibility, but in general, I have lots of interns already, so I'm not looking actively for new interns because it is too much workload for me now. Yes, Powai Lake is very dangerous, sir. Yes, because of the crocodiles, no doubt about it. But I have a dream that we should be able to design an aircraft that can be fabricated in IIT Bombay or through some other industry. We have L&T very near us, across the lake actually, and we would like to operate from Powai Lake. We would like to take off and land in Powai Lake if possible. That is one of my old standing dreams. Maybe a remotely controlled plane where we don't have to put any people on the aircraft because the lake is dangerous. So, but can we do it on Vihar Lake? I don't know. So let's see. Amphibian planes are very uh, big challenge to design and to make effective. Okay, last 1 minute available for you. It's already 6:14. At 6:15, we will shut down this interesting session. So we have 1 minute more. If anybody wants to use this last minute to do something, would it require government permission? Yes. It will require permission. Yes, it will require government permission, definitely. And permission can be obtained if we have a sensible plan. Our Prime Minister is now supporting seaplanes and amphibian planes. He himself took the ride, the first person to fly in that seaplane which took off from Sabarmati riverfront, and it went to that Kevadia where we have the Statue of Unity. So if the Prime Minister himself is supporting seaplanes or amphibian planes, then I don't think that I don't think there is any dearth or any shortage of support from the government. But we should have a decent plan. We should have a proper plan of action. We should approach and say that we would like to design seaplanes for this country, which can be used effectively. Shahana, good evening, sir. Are there any final tips or suggestions you want to give for the exam? No. I would just say relax. Don't worry about the exam so much. Exams are important, but not so important that you start worrying about them. Just look at the course contents carefully, look at the videos carefully, maybe refer to some standard textbooks, and you will be good enough to handle the examination. All right, friends. So with that, we have crossed 8:15, 6:15. We have already reached 6:16. So thank you so much. I would now be closing the session, and it has been very nice to interact with you for about an hour's time. And I hope to see many of you in my course on LTA systems. Thank you so much.